Today's video is being recorded from Cow Rock Park, beautiful downtown Poughkeepsie. Cow Rock Park being immortalized in the Batteries Not Included song, Poughkeepsie City of Sin. The backdrop for today's video is the majestic Mid-Hudson Bridge, which we're looking at right here, over the mighty Hudson River. And to my right we have the walkway over the Hudson State Park. This railroad bridge was built in the late 1800s and it was converted into a pedestrian walkway about 10 years ago. Now the subject matter of today's video is a diesel parking heater which I've installed in this 1987 GMC P3500 Utilimaster body step van. These diesel heaters are becoming increasingly popular. They're commonly found in sleeper cabs in 18-wheelers, and a lot of people are installing these in RVs. And they operate exactly like a house furnace, but instead of a chimney, it comes with its own exhaust pipe. This is a diesel truck, and I could have tapped into the fuel tank of this truck to supply diesel fuel to this burner, but this unit comes with its own fuel tank, which I mounted on the opposite side. And the way I attach this, I use stainless steel nuts and bolts and aluminum ferrules, which push it off the metal fender by a few inches for neater install, and it also allows the cap to come on and off to clear this angle brace. This step van is an extra wide bodied step van, so if you have a standard width step van, you might not be able to install this tank in this burner unit the way I did here, because you may not have enough room. I use off-road diesel in this tank whenever I can to save a buck or two. So the diesel fuel runs down a fuel line here to a little electric fuel pump, which you can't see, which I've mounted to the chassis. And that little electric fuel pump pumps the diesel fuel up into the burner unit. This burner unit sits atop this metal bracket, which you have to buy separately in Amazon. And this metal bracket is sitting on top of this aluminum framework that I fabricated from angled aluminum, and it's held together with stainless steel carriage bolts and nuts and washers, all of which I purchased from the nuts and bolts aisle on the floor of Home Depot. The heated air from this unit comes through this hose, and I cut a 4-inch hole in this firewall with a 4-inch hole saw. And this rubber grommet I bought separately. It does not come with this unit. So you have a nice tight seal. You don't have cold air coming in here. The exhaust pipe for this unit comes down here, and it exhausts out the side here through a port. This you also have to buy separately. It does not come with the burner unit. There's a baby muffler in this exhaust, which you might be able to see here. There's rules about how long this exhaust pipe can really be, but nobody really knows what those rules are. But I have 14 feet of exhaust here. there's some sags in this exhaust. There's some low points, and these burner units create considerable condensation. So at the low points in this exhaust pipe, I've drilled a 1/32 inch hole for the condensation to drain out. This is the air filter for the burner, and this is attached to the fender with a stainless steel clamp, also which I purchased at Home Depot. And here we get a better look at the framework that I fabricated, which is supporting this unit. This unit comes with its own remote control keychain. So you can turn this unit on remotely, and in the winter time, from inside the house, I push this on button and it fires up the unit from inside the house. So by the time I'm done going through my morning rut, there's already boiling, scorching, scalding hot heat coming into the cab. The advantage of that also is you don't have to draw heat off the engine through the regular heater, so the engine warms up faster. The other way you can fire up this heater is by pushing this button here, and you can increase and decrease the amount of heat with these up and down arrows. The key fob remote also has plus or minus button, so you can increase and decrease the heat. This controller also has a 24-hour clock. You can program this controller to have the heater come on and off whenever you want. So you could have this kick on at 5 o'clock in the morning if you want a heated cab in the winter by the time you come out of your house and enter the truck. I have not used the timer. I only turn this on and off with the remote. So let's push the on button on this thing and fire this baby up. This heater has a glow plug in it, so it operates just like a diesel engine. The combustion chamber has to get to a certain temperature and then it ignites the burner and it starts pumping the heat into the cab. So that concludes this video for today, and hopefully if you're installing one of these in your RV or truck, this video helps you out.